Hey everyone, so today my sister asked me if I could help her make this dress. I thought it would be easy, so I said yes. First step is to go thrifting for what we need. In this case, we need a plain dress to transform, hopefully in the color blue, because that's what she liked. And I always post these thrift trips on my TikTok, so go check those out if you are interested. We always have a good time with those. And here is the piece she decided that she wanted to transform. So this is her trying it on as is and kind of like trying to show me what she wants, but I already know what she wants. I have the reference picture, so I'm chopping off the tops of the arms so that I can pull the dress down, and I'm adding my lines with my tailor's chalk to the side where I'm going to cut and where it's going to sit well. And you can see the back's falling because I cut those top pieces. Now that I cut the piece while it was on her body, I fold it in half and follow that cut line so that it's perfectly symmetrical. And this is what happens whenever I'm trying to work on literally any sewing project. They always decide to fight on it for some reason. I folded it in half to make sure that it was the same on both sides, because that's just how we do it. Then this is what we're left with to make the bandeau. So it's not a whole lot, but cast is small, so we're gonna make it work. Now I gotta figure out how we're gonna do this part. For the bust, I just roughly sketched out the size we would need, but we're really tight on fabric. I'm just picking the serging here so that we can have a little extra fabric to work with because we're tight on fabric. And of course I asked my sister to film some parts to show you guys what we're doing, but she keeps getting distracted by the cuteness and I can't really blame her. So a lot of this footage is just the animals fighting with each other, so I apologize, but I hope my explanation helps. So after unpicking the edges, I had a little bit extra fabric to work with, so we had just enough to make the bust cups. Now I am winding my bobbin to add the thread, getting the machine all ready to go, and now it's time to start sewing. The start here is us thinking that for the little middle piece of the dress, we would be able to get away with using zap straps, and unfortunately that is not working for us. It just did not work. But anyway, I'm adding in the little area in which the piece will sit later on. So I am using a straight stitch in this case, and then I'm going to pull on the edges so that I can get it ruched so that it'll stay in place the way we want it to.
I think you broke just a little too.
So now I'm going down that front of the dress and then all the way around the back and up again to do a hem, and make sure you're using a zigzag stitch because this is stretchy fabric and we want the fabric to be allowed to stretch without ripping the seams. Like if you're using a straight stitch, it's just going to rip when you pull it. So that's why you want to use a zigzag stitch when you're using stretchy fabric. Then I added some elastic to the top of the bust cups to make sure that they kind of hold a little bit better. And if the order in which I'm doing all this seems random, it's because it is.
Too much for Luna face. Oh, the kissy good.
Ugh, sounds so gross.
She likes it. She get it in the ears.
The sound is nasty.
She like it. Okay, welcome to our ASMR, where we're gonna lick our cat today. It's nasty. It's really disgusting. Yes, it is. She really loves it.
and you thought I forgot about these extra pieces of fabric that we had. Well, I didn't. So we're cutting off the edges of them, and then I'm going to cut them to the right size and attach them to the bus cups. Finally, we have a suitable piece for the middle. So this is some weird like garden wire, I suppose. And we fiddled with it till I was able to shape it to the correct shape, because it is bendable, but it is very firm. And then it was also so impossible to cut down. We had to like buy a pair of pliers, and we just like reamed on this thing till we were finally able to cut it. It was such a process. I wish we would have filmed it. Now, to ensure that the edges of this aren't too sharp and cut through the fabric, I'm just going in with my hot glue gun and adding little nubs at the end of both ends. And this will make sure that it doesn't rip through, and it'll also give me something to sew through because it's a little bit thicker than the rest of the wires, so it'll help hold everything in place. Now I'm starting to take all of our pieces and assembling them, so I'm going to take all 3 pieces and weave them through in their corresponding spots, and then I'm going to start sewing them down, and then I'm also going to sew the edges of the bus cups to the sides of this centerpiece together, just to ensure that there's a little bit extra hold and everything kind of stays in place. So here you can see I'm using those little nubs at the end with the hot glue and just wrapping around those with like some hand sewing to ensure that those pieces stay down. And Luna is watching very carefully while I do this. Like that, so perfect, right? So perfect. This is how you do. Yeah, secure like this. Yeah, it's good, eh? Okay, so see, if I leave this, it's gonna like, it could come up, no bueno. So I'm just attaching this piece and this piece together, a little hand sewing. Little hand sewing moment.
Oh my god.
Just attaching them at the bottom here. And that's just gonna make it so that they don't come apart, and that's gonna give you a little more structure. Now I'm adding those back panels that I made earlier and attaching them to the bus cups, and then going around and hemming the edges of them so that they are nice and finished off. And then I'm going to be attaching them in the back, and I'm going to go through and do a couple adjustments with Cassandra, trying it on, seeing how it fits, and then going back and tightening a bit so that it fits perfectly on her.
I'm getting some good stuff here, dude. Oh my god. You guys send these to mom on WhatsApp. Oh my god, I got such a good jump. Oh my god. I got such a good one. Swiping. Ew. Oh my god.
I think we're done. So after trying it on, here I am just tightening the back a bit, and that's going to make sure that it fits her perfectly. And when I tried it on her, I used a little bit of my tailor chalk again to mark where I wanted to take it in, and that is how I know where to hem it and where to cut it. I think we forgot to film it, but at some point I also hand stitched on the straps, and I just used a piece of the hem that I had taken off the dress previously to use as straps essentially, and it looks perfect.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
Okay, anyway, enough of that. Now it's time for the reveal. Hey. Wow! That is the dress. I won't put your feet in it. I'll censor your feet. Whoa. It's nice, eh?
It's beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Flowy. I like that it hugs too. The side's really good.
Looks really good.
I am so glad Cass is happy with how it turned out. Thank you so much for being here, guys. And if you like this video, give it a like and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time.